Sir.
I'm doing great. How are you, my friend?
Blessed and highly favored. Grateful to be alive.
Well, I'm blessed to be in this place with you today at this time. There's a reason for everything.
Yes,
And there's
sir.
a reason you and I are in this room. And Dan Fazio is about to join us. I love that. Carry the
What?
boat,
What
my
was that?
man.
What was that? Damn, Fozzie, but you called my bluff, Bob. I was trying to chill today. Damn.
Well, you can go back in there and chill. You can lurk in
Damn.
there in the audience, hang out with the homies over
Oh
there.
man. Bob called me out.
Sorry, brother. I won't
Oh,
mention your name
um,
for the rest of the show. How's that?
don't mention my name ever again. How about that? I'm joking.
Uh, how's everybody doing? We got the regular gang here.
Blessed and
Good
highly favored.
mornings.
Blessed and highly favored, Bob.
Ooh, why is that?
Oh man, I'm because I'm the king negotiator. That's why.
I love it. Let's hear it. What you got? It sounds like a story.
So they finally got back to me on the numbers of this new unit that I'm looking at in my
Okay.
building,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
and it was a little bit high. They're asking a little bit high, but you know, but nothing's too good for the master of persuasion.
For the Foz.
So my first interaction is I said yeah, I said nah, I just don't think that would make sense to me. I said for what I could get for that price, it just doesn't make sense. He said okay, yeah, I understand, but he said the other option is we could do XYZ, and he lowered the price a little bit on his own. He dropped me a significant amount without me even asking for a reduction there. And I said, still too high. I think the most I could do is X amount. He said, yeah. He said, well, think it over. Let me know. I said, well, what if we were to change? Because I thought about it for a quick second, right? And I thought, because here's the thing, Bob, is I could easily go get another unit for similar
Okay.
price, oceanside, smaller square footage, but oceanfront.
Mm-hmm.
And so this property is bayfront, so it's a little bit different. You get water views, but it's not the same as looking at the ocean. But I guess it depends on your preference. But in my
Right.
opinion, it's not worth looking. It's not like looking at the ocean. So I said, well, yeah. Let me think about it for a second. So I thought about it, and I said, but you know what? I said, I really like this. I really like this. I feel like it's me. I feel like it has what I want. So I said, you know what would make the deal sweeter for me? And I might be willing to come to that monthly price if you were to negotiate the down payment with me.
Okay.
And I said, instead of doing X amount, we could do X amount. And then potentially I'd be willing to keep the same monthly payment. He responded back, Bob. He said, I think this is a win-win for both parties. Let me talk to the other party and let me get back to you today.
Oh, this was an
I am
agent.
going to try to push. Yeah. So he said, I'm going to try to push for you on this one to get this done. Because I think this makes sense to all parties.
Love it.
So there we
Love
go.
it. Love it. Love it.
So there's always a way to make it work. So we're going to see what she
Fantastic.
says.
So, are you buying or leasing?
Lease with an option to buy.
Love it. Awesome. Okay. Okay.
But here's the deal, Bob. Here's how I got a little bit extra creative, right? Because she didn't really want to lease. She's like, I'd really like to sell. I said, well, what if I let you keep it listed? Because I know she's gotten 0 offers and she doesn't want to change her listing price.
Or price.
And the odds of someone buying it at that price, at least right now,
Yeah, right.
are very low. And I don't really see it as a long-term play for me anyways, because ultimately, I want to get over on the ocean. It's just that the unit that I want oceanfront right now, I can't afford.
Mm.
Be honest, I'm just being transparent on that. And so, because I don't want to go just get the unit that I can afford that's on the ocean just because it's on the ocean. I'm just not that guy. I can get a very, very, very nice unit oceanfront, but it's just not the unit. It's just in my opinion, it's just not the unit that I ultimately want. So why waste my time in that unit? Doing all that. So this unit I can keep for a little bit longer. And it's already furnished and everything like that, brand new, renovated, not touched. So
Wow. So you're doing a lease option on it then?
yes,
Fantastic. So even if a buyer comes and wants to buy it, you still have first right of refusal.
still have first right of refusal.
Love it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think if her price is that high, then
Pretty high right now. Yeah, it's pretty high right now.
you're sitting pretty.
Mm-hmm.
You always sit pretty, but now you're sitting prettier.
Obviously, I don't want to talk. I don't want to. And the reason I'm not like talking, dollars here is because it's my personal residence. So it's just I just don't want to. I don't
No
want to
worries.
put that out there. So that's just that. That's the reason.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's asking. A lot of curious minds, inquisitive, but nobody's asking. So it's all yours. No, that belongs to
No,
you.
I just wanted to clarify. I just wanted to clarify that as like people, because people might be wondering why I didn't, talk about the numbers. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah.
because
Oh.
I went back to the Bob Sadai method of you can't have your cake and eat it too, and I let the seller know that. So you can't have it both ways, sweetie.
Love it.
You gotta pick one or the other. What do you
There
want?
you go. That's exactly right.
Because we can't have the higher down payment and the same monthly payment, but we could have a lower down payment and a higher monthly payment, or a lower purchase price and keep the same monthly payment. Bob Sadai taught me this trick a while back when I was negotiating a seller finance deal.
Oh
And
yeah. Remember
Bob
that one
said,
now?
Bob said, I would tell the seller. This is key information right here. He said, you tell the seller he can't have his cake and eat it too. He said he's got to pick one or the other. He said, you tell him that we'll be willing to do a higher purchase price, but we need a lower monthly payment. But if we want to do the monthly payment that he wants, then we need a lower entry fee and a lower purchase price.
Go.
And I was like, man, that is gold. So I threw that back out. I did a little, Daniel-san Mr. Miyagi move right there. I pulled it back out in the moment. I didn't think that I would need it,
So the
Bob
one-legged
Bob
crane.
Miyagi me.
The one-legged crane,
The
Dan
one-legged
Foster.
crane. That was it. I pulled it out. I pulled it out in a very particular moment.
I
Didn't
love it.
expect that.
I love it. Well, I'm rooting for you, man. I have confidence that you're gonna get it. So
Thank you.
all
Thank
the
you.
positive vibes out there for you.
Hey.
And Mr. John Johnson dressed up, dappered up for you, Dan, just for you,
Every day.
with the shades and the jacket. Love it.
John is 2 days away. John, I want you to show up to the airport looking extra fly.
Extra fly, right? Can we hop in a Lambo? We get in a Lambo
I'm gonna rent a Lambo for just to pick you up in the airport?
just for the airport, man. We gotta get the
Jesus
content.
Christ. God dang, I was about to send a car to come get your ass.
Oh Lord.
So how's everybody doing?
How
We
are
got
you doing,
45
Bob?
people.
How are you doing today?
I am doing extra special well today, I think. I had a great day yesterday. It was a typical Monday. It was super busy, but it was very productive. So last Friday, our dispo manager dropped a bomb on us and just out of the blue quit. And it's like,
no.
holy shit, really? All right, let's do it. And so I talked to my partner and we said, okay, I'm going to jump into Dispo now, and he's going to jump into acquisition and start helping with the acquisition. We have an acquisition manager, so he's going to be helping him underwrite and guide him. And of course, I'll be there too to help him out, but I'm going to jump into Dispo now. So I'm going to become the Dispo King Jr. to John Johnson and help everybody with the Dispos now. I told our couple of our VAs that are working in the dispo position what are the plan is, and had a nice Zoom meeting with them, showed them everything as to what I want, what I expect of them. We're just gonna crank that puppy up now. I'm just in beast mode in that sense. I want to kill it in dispo now. I want to show this dispo manager that, our business is not dependent on one person. No one person can run your business, or else you do not have a business if that's the case. I'm going to prove it to everybody in our team. So I'm
Wow.
just
Personal.
this is personal for me.
This is
I
personal.
love that.
This is personal. Yeah. You got to make it personal. I can't,
Yeah.
I don't like it when people say, oh, it's just business. It's nothing personal. It's bullshit. It is personal. It's personal because,
Conor McGregor, it's just business.
Okay,
It's just
business. It's just business means that it's just numbers. We do it or not. Okay, fine. But if we don't do it, then I can't provide for my family. So it is personal to me. If we don't do this deal, you can't provide for your family. So it is personal. So don't tell me it's not personal. It at some point becomes personal. And, so right now this is personal. I'm going to crank that dispo department up, way up. It was slacking. I was kind of on his case a little bit too, so I know where he's coming
This
from.
is not just business.
No,
This
friend.
is personal. Bob said Bob put a Khabib. He put a Khabib out. He said, let's talk. Let's talk now.
There you go. I love
he's over
that
there
man.
smashing him. And he's Bob in a month. He's smashing this dude over in the corner. Let's talk. Let's talk now. Let's talk. It's just business. It's just business.
You want to go on your own? Fantastic. I wish you the best, but look what you're going to miss out on. Yeah, here we go. So that's the kind of day I had yesterday. And on top of that, I also put 3 properties on the contract too. So it was a great day yesterday for me. Yeah.
Massive W.
Yeah, it was. So I'm looking forward. We have our team meeting today, right after this. As a matter of fact, I got a hard stop at 9:30 today for me. But in our team meeting, we're going to explain to everybody how everything's going to move forward. And yeah, it's going to be great. We actually hired already someone to come into Dispo as well for us. So we'll see how it goes. But that's how my day is going to be. It's going to be phenomenal. Can't wait.
Yesterday was a stressful day. I was kind of on my agent's case because I felt as though he was not really living up to his fiduciary responsibility for me on the transaction. He did some things that I didn't really want him to do. He contacted the seller without speaking to me, and I told him that I was the point of contact. So I just didn't know if that could potentially cause friction in the deal. But long story short, I reached out to some people to get some advice, on what they thought I should do. And the general consensus from everyone was I should call this guy's broker. So I called the broker and I told him about the situation, and he heard what I had to say. He then called the agent, and after I had a conversation with the agent, it didn't really seem like there was any sort of conflict resolution in terms of some sort of discount or money, but the ball, is rolling, and I just want to make sure that this gets done, because this will be, a very, very big opportunity, and I certainly don't want it to fall through before it closes.
Love it.
Today I have to
Reza.
follow up.
Sorry, go ahead. You have to follow up?
Yeah, I got to follow up with an agent about the property that AB and I locked up live last week, and I need to get that.
Oh,
what happened?
Nothing. You just reminded me of something I want to bring up. So
Okay,
go ahead and
what's
finish
up?
your
Oh,
sentence.
well, yeah, I just got to follow up with that guy and try to get that property listed.
Awesome. So I got a question for both you and Dan on this one. And I've been going back and forth on this, and even AB can jump in.
If it's about the football game last night, I don't want to talk about it, Bob. I don't want to talk about it.
Nah, it's real estate.
Okay.
So I
Okay,
got
great.
2 buddies of mine who approached me just recently, like in the last 2-3 weeks. And they're like, "Hey, yeah, we see what you're doing. We love it." And they're, they got some money and they just want to get involved into real estate right now.
Mhm.
And they're like, "Hey, help us out. Let's partner up. Tell us what to do." I'm like, "Dude, I don't want to do this." And I told them point blank, basically, that my friendship with them means a lot more to me than any amount of money that I can make with them. Uh, so to me, I'd rather keep the friendship and not worry about, working together. If they want help, I'll help them, but I don't want to necessarily partner up with them. But they kept on hinting that don't worry about it. This is not gonna affect our friendship, and I know it will. But okay, we'll play along. So my question to you, Dan and John, is if your close buddy came to you and asked you, "Hey, how can I get involved in this real estate thing that you're doing? How can we partner up together?" What would your answers be?
So Bob, it's funny. So I have 3 actually examples of
Well,
this, like
before
live
you start,
examples.
let me tell you what my first thought was that came to my
Okay.
mind with this guy. Because he has some money and because he wants to work with me, and I know I'm not going to just let him slip, I will be there to help him. I will be there to, pick up the slack wherever is needed. My first thought was, hey, this might be a good candidate for Dan Fazio's system. So that's what I was thinking of, but I want to
Oh,
hear from you.
well, thank you, Bob. I'm paying out very handsome referral fees for anybody I can
Uh,
close. So
that
I'd be
that wasn't
happy.
the point, but okay.
I'd be happy to break bread with Mr. Sadai at any time.
Oh my
Of
lord,
course, of
that
course,
would
of
that would be a
course.
dream come true for me.
Yeah, I'm paying out very handsomely right now
Mhm.
for my close friends to bring me referrals. I still haven't really figured out what exactly I'm gonna do referral wise for the people just for the affiliate program. But if you bring me a referral right now and we have a personal relationship because I hold that lead a little bit more high value, and I've noticed that that those leads tend to be the ones that are easy calls. They come pre-qualified and they're ready to close, and it's a very easy conversation for me to be had. So I'm happy to pay out a good referral fee on that. So yeah, so if Mr. Johnson or Mr. Sadai ever wants to break bread with Dan Fazio, I'd be happy to pass the money around, pass the wealth around, share the wealth
Share the
at the
wealth.
table. So yeah,
Let's get
yeah,
some.
yeah.
Let's
So
get some communism in the chat.
Adam, and Drew sent me some really good referrals yesterday.
Oh yeah,
And yeah,
nice.
we closed 3 out of 4. So yeah, yeah. So hey,
Love it,
they're about to make some cash, baby.
love it,
We still
love
got
it.
2. They lined me 2 more up today, so we're gonna sling those out too.
Ooh, Adam's gonna
But
be rolling in the money.
Adam is
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
rolling in marketing
Adam is
dollars.
already
So I
rolling
have
in the
3
money.
examples.
yeah.
I
Let's
have
hear him.
3 examples of people that have worked. So the first 2 I'm gonna give you that have worked out decently well. So I had a friend of mine who came to me. He runs a driving company. So he's one of my really close friends here in Miami, and him and his dad own a chauffeur service,
Mhm.
professional chauffeur service. So anytime I need chauffeur servicing or anything like that, they always take care of me. They always hook me up. They have a really great business. So if anybody ever comes to Miami, just if you guys ever want a driver, you want professional car servicing, hit me up. I can get you a fantastic rate with a fantastic driver. So let me know on that. But when it comes to him, he wanted to do marketing dollars with me, and
Mhm.
he understood that it was a risk, coming on board to do that. And we were able to do a deal together, and I was able to pay him out a $10,000 check. He actually has another $8,000 check coming, and potentially another $10,000 check after that. So he's gotten 3 deals from me, almost all 5-figure deals,
In
very
what
high
time?
assignment fees.
In what time
He
period?
started with me back in, I want to say, February.
Very nice.
Late
Okay.
end of February, beginning of March. So he's gonna walk away with almost $30,000,
In
and
6 months.
and he spent about
Wow.
$5 grand in marketing dollars with me to make that.
Total or per
So
month?
total now.
Wow. So
Can we
5
run
in,
those?
30 out.
Yeah.
1 to 6. 6 to 1.
Mhm. Yeah.
Where do I send my money to?
Well, that was when my leads that was the golden era of Apex investments right there. That was the golden era. Unfortunately, we have a great partnership right now with our own marketing company. So I just
Why unfortunately?
partnered up
That's
with.
fortunately.
Fortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we partnered up with a great marketing company that I just created a new partnership with. This is why my podcast left iSpeed to Lead. We now have a new marketing company that we're working with. So if anybody's interested in doing Facebook ad generated PPC leads, I'd be happy to talk with you because we have a great deal available. But shameless plug. Anyways, he did great. I had another guy so far that he had him and his personal friend who I don't know. So one of my personal friends brought one of his personal friends who I don't really know that well. They combined and jumped in with me, and we are running leads right now. Now we've only had maybe 3 or 4 closings so far. They haven't been as big of an assignment fees, but they invested $20,000 with me. They've been able to make anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month on cash flow. So they've been for the past since they invested with me. It took them about a month to get everything rolling. So we went a month nothing. Then after that we started, and they've been able to make about they've been able to make about 1,500 to 2,200. I think their first month they both made 2,400 each, and they made 1,500 each. So
Wait. I want some clarification on that. When you say
Mhm.
1,500 and 2,200 cash flow, right? So that means that they purchased the property, they own it, and
no. So they invested with me for marketing dollars.
Uh-huh.
They invested $10,000 each.
Okay.
And since then, we've been able to close deals with their leads, and I've
Okay.
been able to pay them back about 20. I think it was a little over 2,000 the first month, and it was a little over 2,000 the second month, and then the third month they did it like 1,650 or something like that each.
Okay.
So
let's
they
say
both invested $10,000, and then they've been able to cash flow off of that at least a little over over $1,500 a month, which you can't do with anything in real estate.
yeah,
Let's
that's
start
what
with
I was going to break that down. So
Yeah.
I mean, so is this going to be continuous for them that they're going to be receiving that amount back from you? Like $1,500, let's say?
Hopefully they receive more. Hopefully we have some months where they receive some even larger checks. I'm hoping. I mean, I hope so. So
Okay.
I like to pay people out larger. So
So
they get a
they
percentage of the assignment fees.
Gotcha. So they're only in 10,000 altogether,
Mhm.
right? Not
Right.
10,000 a month.
Right. They're 10,000 each. Yes.
10,000 each, and then each month they get, let's say, minimum $1,500.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a 15%. No, that's a hell of a lot more of a return, right?
Yeah. So funny enough, though, they're not happy.
Can I replace them?
They're not satisfied with that. They thought it was going to be more. My dude Mac, my friend, he's like trusting. He's like, I like it. I don't care. I know. But he's like my partner. That he brought in with him to bring the other 10,000. I guess he's not happy because he thought they were going to see larger returns because they were seeing what the other guy who owns the chauffeur company, they were seeing what he was making. So they're looking at his case study and they were seeing what he was making, and they thought they were going to do something similar. And they thought, well, if we invest more, we're going to make more. That's not always how it works, though. And I kind of explained it to them. And I told them, hey, hang in there with me long term, and you're going to at least see consistent cash flow. But anyways, regardless, they're doing well. They're doing well, in my opinion. I keep telling him every time we go to the gym, I'm like, hey, man, I'm like, just so you know, I said, just so you know, you can't, you can't make this with anything else. I said, just so you know. But he was like, he acts like he understands. He's like, but Brian thinks he wants to go into a restaurant or whatever. And I was like, I own a restaurant. You can't make that in a restaurant investing $10,000. Anyways, regardless, whatever. They're not happy. So it's kind of tarnished my relationship a little bit with Mac. I will say that. My relationship with Mac has been a little bit tarnished with that relationship. And I think it's due to the pressure from his friend Brian, who he brought into the situation. So, but we're still good. I mean, we're still good overall. I mean, we still go to the gym. We're still solid. And then I had a third example where my childhood best friend, who's like my brother, they're both only child. So we have like sort of like a little gang back home. There was like 3 of us, like me and him and this girl. We all grew up together. We're all only children, and we're like brothers and sisters. And they all worked for my family. They both still work for me and my family at the restaurant. So that's how close, just so people understand how close they are to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so they really are. They're like family. They spend more time with my parents now than I probably do. Definitely they do, because I'm not there. So yeah. So basically, you know, they basically told me, they said, you know, or he told me he wanted to buy his first investment property, and I said, well, great, you know, let's work together. You know, let's find you investment property. I happen to have a property under contract that he had already been sort of interested in, and I happened to already have that property. I got a good relationship with the owner. We had it under contract before, tried to sell it, didn't work. You know, so I contact the owner again because he tells me he wants it now. My friend wants it. So I said, tell the owner, I said, hey, let's put this under contract again. I got a guy who wants it. And he had a lender on the deal. Now, the issue with the lender is this: it was a bank lender. Mm-hmm. And the property, they wanted all this stuff. Anyways, the lending didn't end up coming through because the lending company just asked too much. They wanted too much. They wanted too many provisions. And then at the end of the day, they just said no. So I told him, actually, I came on the show that day, I think, and I said, I just had a buyer drop out of a deal because of lending. Bob actually offered to look at the deal. And Bob even, I think, offered to potentially say that I might, you know, lend on the deal if the numbers really do hold up. Can I take a look at the numbers? So I contact him and I said, you know, my friend, I said, hey, I got a guy that potentially wants to look at this deal. It might help you. We can still close on time. He tells me no. He tells me he wants out. He doesn't want to move forward. He doesn't want to go through the hassle of going through this all over again and just potentially not have to be able to close. So instead of just, but the issue is like, you know, it upset me. It upset me for sure, because I had a relationship with the owner and I told the owner that we were going to close. And I wasn't able to fulfill that promise. So it hurts my reputation. It makes me look like I don't know what I'm doing, simply because the only reason I put it under contract is because he told me that he wanted it. He was ready to move forward.
Yeah. My concern. Exactly.
So, but I mean, at the end of the day, I kind of, listen, it's not the only thing that I've ever been mad at him about before. We're brothers. I've been mad at him about other shit before in the past. We're very different personality wise. He's not very empathetic or intuitive with human emotion. He's just not like me on that end. So you can get as mad at him as you want about something, and he just might not ever understand the reason that you're upset. Yeah. Like he just doesn't even comprehend it. So therefore,
the filter isn't there. Yeah. He's
not even really able to take into account how you feel and how it made you look or how this and that. So therefore, it's like trying to argue with a brick wall.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
So it's like, do I sit there and do I potentially ruin our friendship? You know, no, I mean, you know, I called my parents, told them about the situation. I was pissed, you know, but my mom, you know, kind of gave me the same advice that I'm saying right now. She was just like, you know, it's not worth ruining your friendship over, because he'd still do anything for you, and you know that. Mm. She was like, so, you know, it happens. You're just going to take it. She's like, and, you know, the owner, I don't think has, you know, he doesn't even understand how to write Google reviews, so I think you're safe. And I was like, well, that's not really the point, but it's just the fact that it was disappointing. But yeah, I mean, so those are my three examples. But I will say that I don't feel like any of those relationships have been permanently tarnished to where it's really affected our relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like it's really up to both parties if you decide whether it really affects your relationships or not. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, I went into business, dude. Don't ever fucking do this shit. But I went into business. I went into business, actual business, with the girl that I was in love with. So and that ended up being catastrophic. But that wasn't the reason that we're no longer together.
Okay.
So I mean, I've made this jump multiple times, Bob. I'm really the guy. I got multiple examples, Bob, on this one. I can throw this around for days, but
Yeah.
I do recommend to people, do not get into a business with someone that you have a romantic relationship with. I just, if you guys already have a business or whatever, and the other person comes in to help, that's one thing, but don't get into business with. Don't go start a business because you think, oh, we're both entrepreneurs, we're both driven, we do this, let's go start a business together. So it's just, yeah, don't do that.
Those were some excellent stories and examples of real life situations that Dan has navigated. I I've tried to start businesses with my friends, before I had any idea of really how to make money at all. I knew that I wanted to make money, and I didn't think that it was something that I could really do on my own, to the same degree, that I thought, I could make more money if, my friends were involved and we did this thing together or whatever. And none of the friends that I started with stuck with me. I was the only person that really did desire this lifestyle or this business or whatever it is that I want, and they just wanted different things. So I would say don't try to force people to be in alignment with your vision. And that's something that's a lesson that I learned over and over and over and over. You can't force people to do anything, so don't even try. But I mean, when I was first getting started in wholesale, I have my childhood best friend as well, and I told him, hey man, this is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna get rich. I'd love to get rich with you, bro. Let's run it up. And they didn't understand. They said it was a scam. They thought that I was a scammer, that I was lying to people about buying their house. I mean, I didn't have any money, so he was saying, John, you're broke. How are you gonna buy a house? You're not even a licensed agent. All sorts of limiting beliefs that are just absolutely irrelevant, and nonsense at the end of the day. And for a while, I tried to kind of convince them that, hey, this is the way. This is how we're gonna make money. This is how anybody can make money. And I can't even tell you how many different times or different situations I've been in my life, where I try to convince other people that there's more than what you're seeing right now. And every time I try to do that, it just it's a waste of time. So I try not to do that too much anymore. And when people come and they approach me and they say to me that they're serious about wholesaling, I tell them straight off the rip, listen, if you don't have $1,000 to put down right now, you are not serious about wholesaling. Why? Because, Bob, I've talked to countless people that tell me they're interested in wholesaling, many of which I started talking to before the Discord grew to the size that it's at now. And, sometimes I see those people hanging around and, they're still in the same place. They haven't done a deal. They haven't picked up the phone. They haven't called anyone. Yet, I poured time and energy into these types of people, but they just really don't want it. So at the end of the day, I think it's always best to align yourself with people that have similar values. I noticed that, my closest friends that I hold close to me are the people in the Discord that really do this business and do other sorts of businesses and talk about business. And we chop it up. We talk money day in, day out, every day, because we have the same goals, visions, and values. And those people I didn't have to try to convince to put in the work. Those people inspire me to push myself harder. And so I would just always be very mindful of the types of people that you are about to associate yourself with, especially if it's going to be in a long-term business relationship. Really ask yourself, does this person want it as bad as you do? And what is it exactly that this person wants? Because 9 times out of 10 in my own personal experience, people don't really want the same thing that I do. And that's okay. But I got to be able to align myself with the people that do want what I want.
Yeah. And that's why communities like this is so important. Like Juan was saying, like you were saying, or Juan was typing, he said, if someone's not willing to change, you can't change them. You can't. It's practically impossible. They need to want to change. And until they do, it's not going to happen.
Oh, were
Okay.
you watching my? Would you watch my podcast last night, Bob?
You know, I was there in spirit. So
Man, pulled that quote out of the number one podcast in the world.
I promise you, I will be there next Monday. How's that?
It's recorded. We don't just do live, so it goes up on the YouTube channel now. We're now no longer High Speed Elite, Bob. We're now on REI Revolution YouTube channel.
My goodness, people are growing.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
So let me ask you this:
yeah,
how many members in I Speed to Lead?
how many subscribers?
Yeah.
They have like 4,000 or something like that.
All right. Well, then you by your move, you just tripled your audience amount, right?
Yeah.
So
We got to get that subscriber count up on REI Rev, but we
Yeah,
have
ladies
already.
and gentlemen, if you're not already, go subscribe to the YouTube channel.
We'll get it up. We'll get it up. But I do see that the views are climbing. So thank you, bros. Thank you. So the views on this podcast were really good. So live. I tuned into my own podcast. So for people who don't know, we usually pre-record. We usually pre-record and then it goes live automatically. So usually that way I'm there to get in the comment section and talk to you guys while you're watching the show, and make sure that we never are late, we never miss on time or anything like that. So it is always that way. It is always 7:30 p.m. EST.
Love it.
cool.
But Bob, did that answer your question though? I feel like Dan and I, we both gave some detailed explanations, and it led to a more of a broader response.
Yeah, it was more broad. Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. I've had the same experiences as you, Dan, and I actually got into
prefaced
business.
I've had some good experiences.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I'm in business partnership with in another business, actually, in my Gator business, I should say, with my college buddy,
Chris.
and that's working out great. Okay.
Cool.
I was in a partnership with my best friend at the time. He still is. This is like maybe 20 years ago or so, in a different business, and we had a successful business, but it was exhausting, and it was a type of business where you couldn't necessarily sell it off. It was a horrible business plan, and so we decided to shut it down. Basically, we sold our clientele list to a competitor, but then we had to shut it down, and that kind of tarnished our friendship a little bit. I mean, to this day, we still talk and everything. We're still on good terms, but it's not the same as it was before. So
Can you sell a wholesaling business off?
Like real estate wholesaling?
Right.
That's a good question.
I don't
guess
think so.
I think the
guess
most
you could
valuable asset to your wholesaling
systems
business is going to be your data. It's going to be the cash buyers, the relationships that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you would have to have your own marketing. You'd have to have your own marketing put into place. Like you couldn't be third party in your marketing.
Oh,
Makes sense.
I don't know.
Because every other business has their own marketing put into place,
Right.
to a certain degree.
Right. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I'm still debating on what to do with these two buddies of mine. Whether I want them to, just tag along or move them to like your system, Dan, or
I
PDRE
mean,
also brought up.
how much money are we? How much money are we talking? We talking like enough for like a down payment for a like hard money loan?
How much would that be?
For a flip, let's just say we need $40,000 down, plus, or let's say we need $20,000 down. We need $35,000 down in renovation costs that we're gonna take out of pocket, and we do a flip that we know, the numbers are good. You ask them to put their money down as the risk factor, so they take the hard money loan. We do the flip. We pay them out. We pay us out. You just did a flip with no money down.
Yeah.
I think
they,
that's a safer option sometimes because it's a quicker in and out, right?
exactly. So PDRE brought that up, and that was my second thought, was for them to become like lenders, whether it's a
Yeah.
PML, HML, Gator, whatever. So they do have that amount, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But especially one of them, he's like, I want to get into it so that I can, get some passive income, get some rentals under my
Well,
belt.
yeah, I was gonna say, or help him get a rental that the numbers are good.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, that's
And
what he's
just,
looking for.
advise him, you know what I mean, on helping him get into that deal.
Yeah,
And at least you build some credibility there. Maybe you charge him like, really low assignment fee or something like that, just so you feel like your time isn't wasted.
yeah,
I've done that before. I tried to do that obviously with my other friend, but that didn't work out. But I think, like, as long as you're qualifying them the correct way, and they're actually coming in with their own cash, right? That they're not gonna, or you're coming in with the lender. I think where I fucked up in that situation is he wasn't a cash buyer, and he wasn't working with, and I didn't choose the lender, so I had no control over that aspect. But I think if he was a cash buyer and we would have had a lender, the deal would have went through smooth.
yeah, yeah. I think that's the route I'm going to push them.
Yeah.
At least for right now, until they get a better understanding, because they are just green. I mean, I had to turn them to like Brent Daniels, Jerry Norton, people like that, just to go learn about what wholesaling is even about first. So that they can at least have the vocabulary and some sort of an understanding. So yeah, I'll see how it goes. But thank you for the advice. I appreciate it.
We
All right,
appreciate you,
ladies and
Bob.
gents. Thank you. Who's got questions? I think I saw a question from me. Let me look it up. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, the multifamily. Thank you, Reza. That one, that one was a roller coaster, but we finally got it done. So it was a multifamily in Dallas. It was an 8-plex. We were in negotiations with the seller for like 7 months, 8 months, and at the end we decided we don't want to take it down ourselves, so we decided to wholesale it. And then that was a fun roll on that part of it, but it's getting done. We just got confirmation of EMD, so it's going to go down by the end of this month. So it will be closed finally.
Let's go.
How do you go about hiring for dispo versus That's a Dan question, man. He knows it better than anybody.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Dan doesn't just hire, Dan recruits.
There you go. That's a Grant Cardone line if I've ever heard one.
That's true. Obviously, I say that a lot. The reason that I do it that way is because I like choosing who I put in my business. Sometimes to me, if someone's asking for a job, I feel like I'm doing them a favor.
Mm.
Because my always question is, why do you need a job? Why isn't someone on your ass? Why doesn't someone just want you so bad? You must not be that A rank of a player, right? If Michael Jordan would have been a free agent, how many calls is he getting? Is he making applications? No. If even let's say even like for basketball people, or let's do football season right now. Let's go football season right now. Let's say Tom Brady decides, you know what, I actually do want to come back and I want to play another year. You think he has to go call teams and ask them, even at the age he is now, and he didn't even look that great his last season? You don't think maybe there's a team in New York City right now because their quarterback just got injured that might want another quarterback to step in? There's a lot of teams that would still want Tom Brady. There would be a lot of teams that would still want to look at that to see what they could offer him. I think there's a team in Texas right now that would highly value having Tom Brady on that team. That's because actually, no, I disagree with that, DJ. Tom Brady is not one of the best athletes of all time. I disagree with that. Tom Brady is one of the best facilitators of the sport. He is probably the best facilitator of the sport of all time. And so if I'm looking at putting someone in a high level position, because you have to understand, if you just have one person in acquisitions and one person in dispositions, those two people need to be high level people, because you don't want to hire from the bottom up, because the bottom up is really hard to coach when you're sitting at the top. So if I'm a coach for a great team, right? If I'm a coach and I have a great thing going, right? The last thing I want to do is bring a whole bunch of fourth round picks into my team. But I may want to get to the point where, I don't want to pick a bunch of whole C minus ranked players on my team. Right? I want to start with I want a great quarterback, and I want a great quarterback, and I want a great middle linebacker. Those are the two things that I want. So those two, and I'll let those two build out the defense and the offense, right? Because your acquisitions and dispositions is like your offense and your defense. And so if you want to build out those two sides of your teams, you want to put people, the first people that you put in those positions need to be your best people. What you're looking for when you're hiring employees is you're not looking for people that want to be employees. You want people that want to actually be entrepreneurs. They just don't want to put in the resources. They don't want to take the risk. So you want to recruit at a high level of people that are maybe kind of doing their own thing. You see them doing their own thing, but you see them struggling with the systems. Because as a business owner, you should be a skilled systems maker. You should be able to run the systems. If you're just a great salesperson, then you need a partner who can step in and be a great systems and operator.
And I want to add to that as well, for the people that are listening, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that more people need to understand
nothing wrong with that.
To their strengths.
That's why my clinic is so successful, right? My partner is a great sales guy, better sales guy than me in this business. He's better than me in this business. I say that 100%. He closes people at the gym all the time. Just literally just walking around the fucking gym, he gets people into the company. So, he's better at that than me. He can sell anybody on signing up with us just by walking around, shaking hands, talking to people. So he's really good at just making people excited. He's always got a new idea, and I'm there to kind of keep him talking down. So I'm keeping him at a pace level, making sure that his ideas aren't too abstract, and I'm making sure that we can execute on whatever his ideas are. So we make a great partnership because I'm a great facilitator. I'm a great delegator. I'm a great general. I'm the quarterback, right? Paul is really great at being, he's really great at being aggressive, right? He's really good at doing all that and making those, those big plays, right? He makes the big plays when we need him to make the big plays. But I make sure I keep the playbook structured, right? I don't let him get too far out of the lines. So if
But
you're
the
only
thing
good
is,
at really
the thing
one
is,
thing,
you've been
go
able to
ahead.
identify your role and what your strength is, and you've been able to double down on that and let other
Yeah.
people do what they're best at, because that's where you really see exponential growth, is when you learn how to properly collaborate with people and allow other people to do what they do best, and understand that you have a skill set that is just as valuable but is different.
Right. But well, actually, he recruited me. Paul recruited me, is what's funny for that business. Paul saw my ability and saw my intelligence in that ability, and he said, he goes, this kid is he's gonna take my business to the next level. He saw that before I saw it, and that's exactly what I did. And we've both been able to keep building it out. We made a lot of money, and we probably wouldn't have moved to Vegas if Paul hadn't had that idea to move us to Vegas. So, there's a lot of things that we've done great together. The dude drives me crazy sometimes, but I love him, and we continue to roll. But could I run the business now without Paul? Yeah, I could. But I don't have any desire right now to buy him out. I know he probably has a desire for me to buy him out because he's getting old. So he probably has a desire for me to buy him out, but not right now. And so, but we've continued to keep this partnership going. So if you have a skill set that you're like, man, this is what I'm really fucking good at, and if that's not systems or operations, and you have no fucking idea what systems, or you have no idea what systems operations are, first of all, if you have no idea what systems operations are, you're not ready for employees. But if you want to start scaling out your business because you see the opportunity there, and you're like, hey, I need to do this, but I want to hire an acquisitions person. A lot of people just want to hire an acquisitions guy just because they just want time back, right? But that's not always a great thing, because you might place the wrong person in your business and get the wrong results that you're not looking for. I see Abe Hanna, who's down there in the off in the audience right now. He brought me on as as a 90-day partner with his business, so he's paying me for my consultation to step in and become that partner. Dalton Woods is stepping in to pay me to become that partner for them for those 90 days, for those 3 months, so that I can help them facilitate, so I can help them get to those places that they want to go, right? And because they understand that they need help with that. So I think the first step is understanding, do I need help with this? You know what I mean? Do I need help with something like this? Then you're going to need to invest money into getting help with that. If you're someone who's in a position to where you need to, if you are already a great facilitator and you're like, I'm a great delegator, I know where I stand, I just need an acquisitions person. I need someone who's really good at sales and someone who can talk to buyers and sell the deals. So find people who are already in the Discord right now, who you can tell is good at doing those specific things on their own, but aren't making a lot of money. And what you do is you go up to them and say, hey, you want to make a lot of money? Then you go, hey, what I do, I want to make a lot of money. If you want to make a lot of money, come work for me inside of my business. I will give you control of my acquisitions department, right? And because of that, I will give you a revenue share of that, because you're going to be a captain of that team. And then I'm going to let you build out that team. So it's going to be your team. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to step into dispositions. I'm going to find somebody who's already actively talking to buyers, someone who's got a buyer's list, maybe someone who's making moves on their own. So, now you go into a position where you go, okay, I want to put somebody in this position. I want to find this guy who's already good at doing dispo on their own, but they don't have a great system in place. They don't have good acquisitions, right? So I bring them on my team. I give them the same offer, and then I say, you're going to be the captain of this team. And now I'm a 3-man team, and I'm leading from the back in operations, and I'm letting these two run acquisitions and dispositions. Now, they don't have any equity of the company, but they're going to get a larger share at the end of the day. So it looks like from the side chat, what I'm reading over here is there's a huge conversation going on over here. It looks like maybe that we had a miscommunication on what the question was. Maybe.
Are you talking about my conversation with Jay?
Yeah, was Jay who asked the original question?
I don't think so. No, Jay was asking about
Okay.
how he can get hired as a salesperson, sales agent.
Oh, so he wants to run the acquisitions department for somebody's business.
I don't know if he wants to run it, but he wants to at least get hired to start working in wholesaling. So my understanding is that he has his own insurance agency. He wants to use his sales skills to translate that into real estate.
Waste the time, Jay. Waste the time. You have your own insurance agency. Insurance is an optimized, way better than wholesaling real estate. If you have a successful business in insurance, and that's what you're doing, you need to build that out, because that's going to make you, that's reoccurring revenue. You don't get reoccurring revenue in wholesaling. That's sale by sale. It's product by product. So if you have that out, I would build that company out. I would focus on whatever it is that I'm doing there and focus on building that company out. But I don't think that getting into wholesaling and working in someone acquisitions department is really going to be beneficial for you at the end of the day. You need to go all in on whatever it is that you're currently doing. Working for somebody else on the side, maybe if you're not feel like you're not making enough money right now, but don't give up on that insurance business. If you understand insurance and you get it, I would work to build that out. And if you need help building that business out, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. So, if you want to help really scale that business and get deep into that business, then let's talk. Because the insurance business is something that is huge, and you're going to make way more money being in insurance than you are in real estate wholesaling. Guaranteed, I promise you.
Sound advice. And on
Yeah.
that note, unfortunately, I gotta hop off. I do have a meeting at 9:30, so my time. Pleasure talking to you, gents. Thanks for the advice, guys. I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you,
Peace, Bob. Jay, shoot me a DM. Shoot me a direct message. We can talk more about that. But dude, insurance, man, insurance, that business model is, dude, that's a fucking gold mine. The issue is that there's a lower barrier to entry for people to get into insurance. You can't just start an insurance business. So if you already have the entry into that and you already have an insurance industry, then boom. Like the thing is like a lot of people are doing wholesaling. What you have to understand is what you're asking to want to go do on the side. Those people are only doing that because it's they only got into wholesaling because it doesn't really cost that much up front to get into. But insurance is reoccurring revenue, because we all have to have insurance. I don't know what kind of insurance business that you run, but we all have to have insurance. So if you understand marketing and you understand sales, bro, there is no reason you shouldn't be doing $1 million a month in insurance. Seriously.
Wow, that's crazy.
If I can do $720 a month in TRT, you can do over $1 million a month in insurance, because people don't need they don't like people do need hormones, right? We do need hormones to make us feel better, but we don't need, right? It's not like a need. We Adam, I don't have a license to do insurance. That's why we're not doing insurance. But I have a girl that I'm about to start working with. She owns her insurance. She owns an insurance business. She does homeowners insurance. And we're about to start working together. And I'm so excited to work with her because she's very close to hitting that 6-figure a month mark already. And she just started her business last year. and she knows nothing about marketing and about systems. So as soon as I add that into her business, she's gonna blow the fuck up because her sales and her personality is already through the roof. So I'm super excited to get in with that business and start working with her. But yeah, I mean, the insurance business, man, like if you are in medical insurance, health insurance, homeowners insurance, car insurance, oh dude, you can make so much fucking money. It's crazy. Crazy. But you have to understand how to market. You have to understand marketing. You have to understand how to leverage your position on Google. And you have to understand how to really put yourself out there to draw people in to get the customers. But if you can do all that and then you can close people once they pull in, it's an easy fucking sale. Way easier than real estate wholesaling. Because in real estate wholesaling, you're trying to convince somebody to sell you their house for an extremely low price that they really don't need to. So you're actually convincing them to sell you their house for a lower price than what you're going to go sell it for right after that. So, there's ways to make money, but it's just that real estate has a low barrier to entry. Insurance is a higher barrier to entry. There's more regulations inside the insurance business. So, but the good thing is that the overhead cost is very, very, very
Do you
similar
think
to
life
real estate
insurance
wholesale.
is a scam, or do you think people really need life insurance?
I think life insurance can be a good investment if done with the right people in the right way. But you can leverage life insurance in a very, very, very creative way, and that can pay you out. That can pay you out big time over the course of your life. So, but you got to be with the right tax strategist, and you have to be with the right person who understands all that and how to structure that the right way.
Do you have any referrals?
I don't, man. I don't on that one.
We might have to get some referrals.
But I do know it's good. It's good. Are we gonna keep rolling here? We gonna keep rolling, or we rolling, or we wrapping up? What are we doing, John?
Well, I got a couple people telling me that they have deals. They want to talk money. I'm ready to talk money.
Let's talk money.
Let's talk money. Let's talk money. Let's talk money. Talk money to me. Slide in my IG DMs with money. Don't fucking say hey. Don't say hey, bro. Don't say what's up, bro.
Don't say hey, bro.
Don't talk that shit. Talk money to me. I want to talk about money. So let's have some money conversations, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you all make money today. Make money. Oh, big play, Jay. Oh, he tried to come up. Didn't want to come up. Make that money, man. Let's make that money. Hey, big play, good? Jay, man. How you doing, what's big good, play, bro? Jay?
Can you hear me, bro?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
We got you now.
My man, he's not saying a word.
Yo.
What up?
You're. We can hear you, and then we just don't hear anything.
You might have push to talk on, brother. It's cutting in and out. Because we can't hear you. You are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
What about now?
Yep.
All right, for sure.
Yes.
All right, so I got this deal in Atlanta, right? And the seller's pretty much, the house is boarded up. Now, she don't want me to go inside, and she's still trying to tell me make an offer on the house. In that situation, what are you saying to her as far as, all right, if you don't want to let me inside the house, I'm going to make my offer based on what, the condition of the outside?
We're going to assume that the house needs to be torn
down. How would you go about that?
We're going to assume that the house is condemned. If we can't get inside,
okay,
we're going to assume that the house is condemned, and we're going to make our offer accordingly. Listen, if you want to give us access, we might be able to get you more money.
Yeah, it's like buying a surprise box. There could be a pile of shit inside the box, or there could be gold. You know what I mean? How the fuck do I know?
Right. The whole house needs basically, by the sounds of it, what she's telling me, yeah, it needs to be pretty much torn down.
We
Maybe
got
that's why. Then maybe
Mr.
she just doesn't
Franklin,
want to.
Tennessee in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Mr.
No,
Franklin,
no, no. I don't want to
Tennessee.
interrupt. I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to. I wanted to just sneak up.
Maybe that's why she doesn't want to let you in. Then if it need, I mean, if she's willing to be that transparent, then that's just what we need to go with. I mean, if it needs to pretty much be torn down, then we need to go with the tear down. Oh, look at
Okay.
that! Boxes on boxes.
Wow, he's really making the move.
Celsius
Listen,
is on
listen.
Celsius is on
The
Celsius.
I can't tell you, dude. I feel the stress,
who's
man.
negotiating that sale?
Huh?
I'll buy your house cash if you haven't found a buyer yet. You know?
Yeah. Just meet me at the title company.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Got it. I'll bring a
Everything's for
suitcase.
sale.
Yeah.
Right now, everything is for sale. Whatever lets me leave this house sooner, everything must go.
Can I get bones?
Whatever
can
you're
I get
saying,
bones?
I don't. Yeah, you can have it.
Okay, great.
I don't want to bring anything with me. Whatever gets me out of here quicker.
I feel that same stress.
I want that
I'm getting ready for a
picture in the
flight.
back corner, and then I want
My guy James Dean back there, dude.
Yeah, I want the James Dean picture,
The James
and
Dean.
that's a
Want my
little bit
light up
that's
tree?
that's a little bit sus. I gotta say, if I
JD? I don't know how we got.
Anyways.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I know that. The
big
guitar, you can have
play
the guitar.
Jay.
Guitar
Sorry.
easily steal it.
What? I think the question
Nah,
was
you
pretty
good.
much answered.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I don't know. You guys
If
want
she says to tear down, then negotiate for tear down price.
Right.
Land
Yeah.
value.
Because I was just pretty much trying to choose my buyer at that point.
The
and
first thing is to
just
talk to a
go-
buyer, though. You gotta go talk to some buyers in the area,
Yeah.
see what they're gonna pay. Because look, man, if you don't have a buyer, you're just trying to make something happen out of thin air. But if you know you've got somebody that will buy it and you know what they're gonna buy it for, you know what you can really realistically negotiate on a deal. So it's important that you get your buyers and then you actually identify how much these people are really willing, able, and ready to pay for a property to close today.
For sure.
But yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already,
What else?
Ooh, this is a long one.
What else we got? What else we got in the? Well, what else we got in the comment section down here?
The dog? Who's got a dog?
I don't know.
Who let the dogs out?
No
over there?
idea. Not me. Not. I think
We
that was
already
a,
know,
that was
yeah,
a
no
Brazil.
dogs
That was a
together.
Brazil.
No dogs in the. Take your shoes off. Leave your dog out in the hallway.
Stop it. No, I love dogs. Just not
other people's dogs.
just not yeah.
Just other people's dogs.
Just not in my house. Just not in my house.
I feel like in that scenario, like dogs are a synonym for kids too. Like I love kids. I love other people's kids. I love dogs. I love other people's dogs.
Absolutely. There we go. You got it. You got it down now.
Yeah, I got it. It was quick. I'm a quick learner. God, I've been very much enjoying the inspirational. I've just now become a party. I'm an interested party in your stories that you share.
Oh.
I'm an
well, I
interested
appreciate
party.
it. I appreciate it. I got a couple interested parties, and I guess I'm an interesting party. It's crazy.
It's an interesting party.
I'm an interesting character.
It's like a roller coaster with your eyes closed. Like you just don't know. You don't know when the drop's coming. You don't. It's fun, man. Just put your hands up and enjoy the ride when you're watching.
Man, today's one of my last days here in Brazil, man. I'm getting ready to go to Miami, and I'm a little anxious. It's going to be a completely new environment. I've become accustomed to living outside the United States, and for me to go back there, it's gonna be an experience. But I definitely got to make sure that I pay Uncle Sam. I love you, Uncle Sam. I'm coming back to pay you, sir. Thank you for giving me the ability to live and be born in the greatest country in the entire
Why do
world.
you keep saying that? Did you not pay your taxes or something?
Listen. Uncle Sam.
Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
Don, this is news, dude. What? I don't.
Listen.
Is this
I
the
need
real
to-
reason you're in Brazil? You've just been
I
escaping
need-
the
I
tax man
need-
this entire time? You've just
I
found the
finally
rust.
understand. I finally understand why he's out of the country now. I get it. I
All of a
get
sudden,
it.
Dan's
dude.
like,
I've
you
been
know what? I'm a
wondering.
little busy that week. I don't know if you should be staying with me.
I'm harboring a tax evader in my house.
It's gonna be like the movies where like the SWAT team comes through your window. On the side
Is it
of your
really? Is it
building.
really that serious?
I don't think for you it's gonna be that serious.
Jeez.
But obviously, if you make Wesley Snipes money, that's a little bit different story. But
Yeah,
you
man.
know,
This is.
I
this
mean,
is
you know,
a grand
I
in the
feel
grand
like
scheme
you
of
should
things.
know though.
huh?
In the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's really that much money, especially if I pay it with interest. I don't give a fuck. Take the money. You know what I'm saying? Take the money.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I want to make sure, I paid my country. My country gave me the security of being able to grow into the 6'6" beast that I am that's traveling the world and funds my travels as well. And on top of that, I got the best passport in the game. So it's like,
Now I know. Now I
Dude,
know
John-
you're young
John-
and haven't paid your taxes for long because you're like, my taxes. I'm happy to pay them to my great country, as if your country is putting your taxes to the best use.
The good
possible.
use.
Yeah. Any
Dude,
use.
John, you're good, man. I know people that haven't filed in like 2 or 3 years, so you're totally fine. They're still walking around.
Yeah.
So
They're
Walking
walking
Yeah, as
around
long
like
as you-
this. They're walking around like this
they're
though.
what?
But they're good. They're walking.
What was that dude? What was that dude on the One Bite Pizza reviews like a month ago or something like that? Like Dave Portnoy went in his spot, and the guy was like, don't record me, no recording, no recording.
Guy
He was
with
like,
taxes for sure.
he's a tax evader for sure,
That's
dude.
a typical tax evader.
He's like, no recording. He was just a customer. He's like, don't. Dave was Dave's response. Don't leave your house. Don't leave your house. If you don't want to be recorded, don't leave your house.
Have you talked to a CPA, John? Have you handled
I
like
haven't.
had that discussion?
no, because this is
That's good, man.
something international.
It's good. It's good, man.
It's not good.
Maybe you
It's not
should.
good.
Maybe you should have consulted with like Tax Turbo or just somebody.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? TurboTax. What are they calling it? TurboTax. Yeah.
Man,
should
you
have
guys are
consulted with
putting the
them.
fear of God in my soul right now, man. You guys
No,
are
no,
putting
no,
the
no,
fear
no,
of
no,
God
you're
in my
good,
soul.
you're good. Listen. Look, I have a family accountant that I'll put you in touch with. We'll get him on the phone. We'll have you go through the process, and he'll open your file up.
Have
He'll
you
see that
opened
you
your
have.
books?
Yeah.
I got
And,
open
and
books.
yeah.
I'm an open book.
We'll see all that frivolous.
Do we
spending.
have ledgers? Do we have everything in the same spot? Do we have accurate reporting?
Dan,
Ledgers.
come on. He said ledgers.
I'm ready. I've really prepared to begin myself. I'm preparing myself to be instructed by a tax professional, and anything that I've got to do to make it happen, I'll certainly get it done. Any amount of money that I've got to pay, I'll pay it. I just want my life, man. That's what I value the most, man. As long
Yeah, I
as
think
don't
they're gonna
die.
be waiting at the TSA checkpoint when
Yeah.
you get here. I might not even see you when you get here off the plane.
Gonna be like
Joking.
two men in black agents gonna be waiting.
They've
for
done
you.
that before, man. They have stopped
they're
me.
they're gonna get him again like they did last time when he went to San Antonio.
They did. Savion, they
Bro,
did.
if
He
you
knows
make,
they did.
do you think it, John? Do you think
Listen,
it's
I'm
800
afraid to bring creatine with
Listen,
me in my
listen,
backpack.
listen.
I don't even think I should bring anything. I think I should just leave all my shit and just literally walk in the country with a backpack. Got nothing else. I'm gonna get rid of all these clothes anyway. I'm gonna buy a whole new wardrobe. It's gonna be. I should just throw this shit away anyway. Just throw it away. Throw it all away.
John.
So there's no way they can even accuse me of doing something crazy. Because last time, they stopped me in Texas, man, and
There was-
they took my
there was
passport.
accusations?
They took my passport. They took my phone. They went through my journals that I was writing all of my ideas and like reflections and all that. They went through all of my stuff, invaded my privacy, and I didn't even have anything on me. There was no reason to stop me at all. I'm not a fugitive. I'm an American citizen re-entering my country. Who are you to stop me?
It's because you're that guy, dude.
I am that guy. They got a little intimidated. Whoa, hold on there, Buckaroo. Who is this guy traveling around? traveling around South America, spending pesos, earning dollars. Yo, somebody stop this man. Somebody stop this man.
We went to Ireland and I almost couldn't come back. I got random searched twice while we were in the airport, and on the second time, like me and the whole family were walking in the same line. Everybody else got through, and all of a sudden they were like, "You," and they were like, sent me over again, and like that second time just set me off. And then I was just like, "Motherfucker," I'm going, and I'm like throwing my bag off and shit. And then they were like, "You know what?" And they're like, "Over there," and they like put me behind this little thing. And then they put my bag on a table and they just started ripping my shit out of my bag. And I was like, "Yeah, real nice, real nice." And they were like, "Sit down." And I was like, "No." And they were like, "Sit down." And it was like this woman that was telling me to sit down. So then I had to sit down like a little kid while they were just rummaging through my shit. And then they were like, "All right, you're done." And then they left all my shit out on the table. And then I was like, "Oh, okay." And I like, put it away. And then as I was walking through the airport, all of a sudden, as we're like standing in these lines, I see people working at the airport. They're seeing me, and then they're like whispering to this person, and then that person leaves and goes and talks to that person. Like, and I was like, "Watch, they're gonna pull me out of line. I guarantee they're gonna pull me out of line." And as I get up to the person accepting the passports, all of a sudden he stands up, leaves his entire desk, and comes around, and they open up the rope for me, and they're like, Can you step out of line, sir?" And I was like, "You got to be kidding me." And they pulled me off to the side and they were yelling at me, being like, "We don't have to let you leave. We can delay you. We can take your passport. We can do this." They're like, "We heard that you were being disrespectful to our workers," and blah, blah. And it was like 7 a.m. And I was like, "Dude, I've been up for 11 hours traveling to this airport." And I was like, "You guys just rummaged through all my stuff." And the guy ended up being from Chicago. Another guy came over and was like, "I know how it can be, blah, blah," and then they let me go, but I was this close to not being able to come back. My wife was standing over there just furious at me. She was like, "Shut up, shut up." As I was just motherfucking everybody I could. And I was like, "I don't care. I'll stay here. Just on principle, I'll stay here."
God dang, dude. God dang.
Don't
No, God, that's crazy.
My
You're
dad was
insane.
there. He was so mad
Oh
at me.
my
He was like,
God.
"Shut up, shut up." I was like, "No."
I will say though, I almost got into a fight with a guy at the valet when I was in Saint
At the
John.
Mike James Dean poster is sus, and you got an argument at a ballet.
Valet.
Oh, I think he said
The
the ballet.
ballet.
I was like,
I do enjoy a good ballet, but you
me
know.
too. I used to work in opera house.
But anyways, no, I almost got when I was on St. John, I almost got into a fight with this guy at the valet because he killed the battery in my rental car by accident, and I even though they got it restarted, we jumped it, they got it back going, running again. I wanted my $10 back that I paid